Today, friends, we're going to test the Carverall K15 Pro. So let's get cracking. Of course, step one, let's see what's in the box. Samples, the manual, a quick intro, and ways to reach them. That's super slick. Inside, we've got the laser module, the connector rod, the frame, legs, tool, power supply, just highlighting 24 volt 2000 milliamp adapter. I like to add this to the video because sometimes it's hard to remember which laser had which adapter. Safety goggles, frame and access, and these parts are all connected, which is going to make assembly just a little easier. And over here we go to the assembly steps. Inside the toolbox, we've got our cables and, most importantly, the screws for putting this together. All right, so we simply rotate this around. You want this little wedge up. This peg goes down, and we're going to simply attach that right there. I'm going to just get it started like that. Of course, same thing, other side. And then, of course, lock them in. All right, so obviously I've spun it around. This drops in right here, but do make sure you push this through before you put it in. Once again, just push it through like that. And then we can grab our screws and tighten it in. Once again, this is what we use to adjust the belt. Hard to get, easier than that. All right, so the x-axis goes the same way. Check it out. There is a small slot to put the belt through, so it comes out the other side. With that in place, we simply put the screws in right here. Bang. Now it's time to install the coupling. I have loosened these on both sides. And with them slid into place, simply lock them. Now I've spun it around. Let's make sure we've got that out. And let's attach the laser module. And just lock it at a height, just like that. Next up, find the laser module cable. And simply slide it in. So this here is some 6mm hardwood. We're going to make a quick keychain. To get it set to the right height, you flip this little piece of plastic down. That makes it stick below. Now we can loosen it. And then for this material, that is now the correct height. I can lock this in, pull this out, and we're going to flip this back so it's out of the way. This is awesome because you'll never lose it. It's always attached. Friends, I have moved to my PC and I have launched LightBurn. It is a paid tool. You can get a free trial version. I find it super useful, so this is what I always choose to work with. I'm going to go to Devices, and I'm going to create manually my new laser. We're just going to move down and choose Gerbil, and then we can hit Next. We're going to use serial USB, and Next. I'm going to name it K15 so I can keep track of which laser it is. And these numbers become 200 and 300. And we can click Next. We're supposed to keep front left, auto home, click Next, and click Finish to add it. I'm going to click OK. So I've got it a little down closer to your eye level. We've got it plugged in. And I'm going to power it on and plug in the USB cable. Notice it's asking about the K15. I'm going to swap to a different COM port. Let's try COM 9. Ooh, that was it on COM 3. Bingo, laser connected. How cool is that? All right, so let's load a project. I'm going to do File, and I'm going to do Open. I'm going to grab my Mount Pisgah keychain. It's for a different laser. I'm not going to switch to it. I'm just going to hit No, and there is my design. This is simply an SVG that I imported. It's about Mount Pisgah, where I climb the stairs all the time. Then I simply went over to Tools, and I chose Offset to create this awesome outline. And then finally, I added a circle to cut a hole out for a keychain. Super simple, quick and easy. Let's go check our settings. I'm going to set these cuts to 100 millimeters per second, 100% power, and 3 passes. There is a chart in the book for my AA machine that shows that that should be acceptable. Then I'm going to switch to the fill, and I want this one to be 5,000, 100% power as well, and 0.1 and 1 pass. Now I'm going to power it up. Make sure it's on the correct COM port. Bingo, it was COM 10. Bring out my piece of material. I'm going to move this into location. I like to use shift nudge. That goes 10 times as long as a normal nudge. Do a couple single nudges to get it back. Remember, we already set the height for this. I have got the start set from current position. I've got job origin. Under laser tools, I'm going to choose device settings. And under basic settings, we simply want to enable the laser fire button. I'm going to choose to set this at 2%. And I do want the laser on when framing. Now when I do OK, normal nudge. You can also do control nudges, which are micro nudges. And now when I hit frame, we have got a blue light that lets us track to see whether the laser is actually going to be where we want it to be. All right, so now that we've framed it, we can of course grab our safety glasses and let's make something magical. And not too many minutes later, we have got an awesome little keychain. How cool is that? All right, so a few other cool things. I want to mention that it does have the offline engrave. You would do that with an SD card. You can also get a cover, a fan, and a roller. So lots of other options. I am using the AA version. Of course, you could also get the AAA version, which is even more powerful. So let's wrap this up quickly. Of course, a lot of things to love with the Carverall K15. First things first, 5 minutes to have it set up is just absolutely awesome. And then 3 quick steps to actually get it connected and make our first projects. Even first-time users should be able to have it set up and making projects in no time. Of course, I also loved the high-speed engraving. Check out the results. Look at the detail that we got for the Mount Pisgah part of that keychain. I do most of my projects with that same scrap wood I showed in the video, but it is also fantastic for leather, acrylic, bamboo, cardboard, slate, stainless steel marking, and even colored paper. We can also take a completed project like my keychain and we can save it to the machine so that we can run it without having to reset up the whole thing. Just put in your wood and bang, remake your project as often as you need. Extra bonus for a limited time, new customers can get 10% off all Carverall machines. Of course, check the link in the description to see all the machines and claim your 10% discount. I do quickly want to say thank you to everybody that supports me via YouTube memberships. Don't forget there are 3 levels of support starting as low as $5 a month. With any level of support, you get early access to videos. Also, make sure you pay attention for those members only post. A massive shout out as well to everybody that supports me via Patreon. Love how the group is growing. We're way past 600 members. It is a fantastic free messaging area where you can ask questions, post designs, gain skills. Of course, you can learn more with the bit.ly up above or the link in the description. Finally, friends, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget every time you like, hype, share a video, add a comment down below, or click subscribe. You're helping HLModTech get just a little bigger, which absolutely makes my day. Friends, have a glorious day, and keep tinkering.